Hello, and thank you for watching this video. Please remember to subscribe because I have a lot of mystery boxes of jewelry to open still. I remember this box and I know that it's about 25 years old at least. This box is something special. It's from Bulgaria. It's hand carved and painted and very light. I have a good feeling I know what's in here. I believe these were samples of Filigree 99.9 pure silver handcrafted trinkets, and I'm right. Yes, they are. Okay, so what's in here, I believe, is some brooches and pendants, I think. So let's get started. This first piece is just a nice little leaf in filigree with a solid piece of silver, I guess is the stem on top, and it's a little brooch. Bulgaria's been handcrafting filigree for hundreds of years, probably longer since the style's been around, what I read, about 3000 BC. This is a really pretty style to be. It looks like a wing almost. It's got 3 protruding dots on it. The back looks just as pretty as the front does. It's a brooch, and it's about 2.25 inches in length. Filigree jewelry is usually made of gold and silver, made with tiny beads or twisted threads of the metal, or both in combination. Then it's soldered together or to the surface of an object of the same metal and arranged in artistic motifs. It resembles lace patterns. And then like this piece, the lacing is gorgeous. It's a pendant and it has 2 flowers in it with 2 borders of different types of style of lacing. And it's just beautiful. A lot of these designs are something I've really not seen before, and they kind of remind me of vintage designs. This one just reminds me of a helicopter seed, one of those branches when you're a kid you can fly away if you twist it just right. And it's just really pretty on both sides. It's a brooch. This piece is similar to the oval. Inside it has 1 flower and it just has a lot of filigree around it and then a nice border and then that beautiful intricate circled border around the outside. And this is in more of a square shape. It's a really nice pendant. I don't really see a lot of square pendants like this, and the back is just as beautiful as the front. So to me it wouldn't even matter if it flipped around, you wouldn't tell the difference at all. The interesting part is in the middle is a flower and each petal is a filigree leaf, and they've carefully bent them up so that it has some dimension to it. And it's just the craftsmanship again is just absolutely amazing on this. So delicate. There's so many little loops inside the loops. It's just really beautiful. This is a little pendant. It's about 1 inch all the way around, and it's a heart. It has a lot of patina on it. It's not as shiny as the previous pieces. It has an interesting design on the inside and a nice triangular border on this one. This brooch has 2 opposing paisley pieces with single leaf shaped filigree arched on top of them. It's quite an interesting piece. So I did some research on paisley patterns, and I know that this style has a lot of use in Bulgarian folklore on their outfits. They have it pretty much on all of their beautiful folk dresses. Also, what I learned about paisley was that the paisley pattern's been traveled through the silk routes from east to west, adorned the bandanas of cowboys and bikers even. It was adopted by the 19th century boho set and then popularized by the Beatles, which then, of course, ushered in the hippie era, and it's been around ever since then. This is a pretty brooch. What looks to me like 2 leaves adjoined by a flower in the middle, and it's 2 I'd say tiers of coiled metal on top of each other with a little bead dot in the middle. And the back, again, is just as beautiful. This one does have a little bit of patina on the back, especially, and on the tips. But the intricacy, again, of the coils within the coils, making up the, I guess you could say, the veins of the leaf, are quite beautiful. And then on the stem, it has, instead of a straight stem, it has a little detail where it's kind of zigzaggy. So it gives it another layer, another dimension of design. This little pendant is in the shape of a horseshoe. And I've seen this a lot on the folk style outfits and things also. It has a little flower in the middle, and then filigree within the border of the horseshoe, and three little beads, one in the middle of the flower and one at each end. So they're protruding to give it some dimension. Now, this little pendant reminds me of a sunflower. When I used to drive from Sofia to the Black Sea, I would go through fields and fields. I'm talking thousands of acres of sunflowers. And this really reminds me of that. It's got like a filigree circles embracing the whole outside, but then it's got a panel in the middle, a circle, and it has many little filigree beads inside, and they are encircled by a little filigree, each one. And then on the back, you saw that it was a very nice, solid silver circle that looks like it was hammered. And they might have hammered it because it has a little bit of a dome to it going in. And I guess that's to give it a nice dome on the outside, where it is definitely has, the whole thing has a shape that it's doming outwards on the front. So each little piece has all these wonderful little details once you really start looking at them. They seem to put quite a bit of thought into each of these little pieces. Here's another what looks to me like a folk symbol of some sort. It's a bell, and on both sides it's just as beautiful as ever. It's a pendant, and it has a coiled circle in the middle with a bead in the middle of that, so again, some dimension to it. This is one of my favorite pieces, I think, so far. It's a brooch. Looks good on the other side, too, as usual. It's got two long leaves and all these wonderful petals that have all these different heights and directions. And in the middle is the little pestle, but it just has all this really nice form, and the bent of the petals just gives it so much dimension to look at. It keeps your interest. Every little piece, you kind of just have to look at it for a while. It's not something you dismiss quickly. Now, this little brooch is a little different from the other ones. It's not as quite as intricate on the inside of the leaves as the others. And on the top of it, instead of having the intricate little flowers, it's got like a solid piece of silver with some etching in the middle and a little bead pestle in the middle of that. This is one of the cutest little shoes, or a slipper rather. It is either called an opansi, or I think the other one was, if I can remember, servuli. And you can still get them today, and they are intricately um, sewn or embroidered rather with sometimes some silver looking threads, and they're just as pretty as this little pendant is. It's something that when I look at this, it's Bulgaria to me. This is definitely that style. It's a really nice, beautiful country that has a lot of tradition, and this is one of those precious little things that you can get from there. And that was the last of the jewelry. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed already, remember to subscribe because I have a lot more of these to come. And showing these pictures reminded me when I lived in Europe, I took a lot of pictures at museums of jewelry. So I'm going to try to find those and put up some videos of that too. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.